This is going to be a really hard one to review. Because if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, this thing is like hovering around a 90%, which granted, that's only among like 30, 40 critics. So like, I'm sure they have like 200 critics reviewed it like they do the big release films. It'd probably be a different situation. But, I can understand all the praise it's getting, but I don't know how to express that. Because this is such a weird movie. Yeah, we are talking about Teen Titans Go to the Movie, which is the movie spin-off from the Teen Titans Go cartoon. And I'm like most people around my age, which is that I love the old Teen Titans cartoon. And man, I'm just not about that Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
But it's not aimed at me.
Yeah.
It's aimed at younger kids, and I understand that. I understand it's not aimed at me, but I've tried watching some episodes of it and be like, this feels really dumb for little kids.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like, I mean, I don't want to come in here as a grown-ass man and, like, wag my finger at something that's made for little kids, but I just look at it like, this just seems really stupid even by little kid standards.
Yeah, I mean, it's like how old are like the kids watching this? Because it's like we were pretty young when the first Teen Titans cartoon.
I was in my teenagers.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's like
yeah. So I mean, it's definitely aimed at below that. But the weird thing about the Teen Titans Go cartoon is that like a third of all the jokes in the Teen Titans Go cartoon are references to the original cartoon, or they're just about the fan base of the original cartoon. I'm like, what the hell does an 8-year-old know about that? The thing came on and left before they were even born, and this is an entire show just about nostalgia but aimed at people too young for the nostalgia. I don't understand the cartoon, but kids love it apparently. But yeah, alright, it's a movie, so I had to go and review it.
I'm still pissed off that you went to see this, but not the My Little Pony movie.
I didn't even know that you wanted me to see the My Little Pony movie.
I wanted to see it.
Speaking of which, you want to see it because you're a big Lauren Faust fan. Did you know she's working on a DC superhero girls show?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an opening short for it at this thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
It looks cute.
It does.
It does. It looks fun. I'm glad Jessica Cruz is going to be in something, so that's good. Yeah, it looks fun. But yeah, I sat through this movie, and like I said, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got like a 90%. And I honestly feel that like half the critics who are giving this praise didn't actually enjoy this movie, but they can understand that the audience it's aimed at would enjoy it. I'm kind of in that camp.
Yeah.
Because there is a moment early on in this film, in which the Teen Titans are fighting a giant balloon monster, and the balloon monster's like, who are you? And there's like, oh, you don't know who we are? And then Cyborg puts in a mixtape, and they do this big hip-hop breakdance sequence in which they each talk about who they are. And I was like, this is a lot of noise and sound and colors and shapes just being thrown at the screen.
Yeah.
And I just, oh man, like, this was early on in the film. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this entire thing. But it's a well-written song, well-choreographed song for the audience it's aimed at. Yeah, I can totally understand them loving it. And yeah, that's why I'm kind of in that base of critics who is like, yeah, I did not enjoy this film, but it's not made for me. But as I was watching this, I could be like, you know what? The audience this was aimed at, I bet they would love the hell out of this. And I actually had like a big revelation moment while I was watching this film. Because yes, I kept looking at it going, this, I know it's aimed for kids, but this just seems really dumb even for kids. It feels like this is just kind of like bottom of the barrel level entertainment. Mm-hmm. But there came a moment in which a kid sitting behind me, he was laughing and then he goes, this is so dumb. And all of a sudden I had the epiphany and I went, oh, it is dumb for kids. On purpose. Because, listen, I can like dumb humor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really dumb comedies out there that I like. And dumb humor is the style of humor that they're going for in those movies, and I appreciate that in those movies. That's what this is for kids. That was my epiphany moment in there, which I went, oh, yeah, I've always looked at this like, yeah, this is really dumb for kids, but the kids know that. The kids realize this movie is really dumb humor. And you know what? If I'm okay with dumb humor for the adults, as long as I recognize it's dumb, if the kids recognize this is dumb humor for kids, this is kind of like their first introduction to that style of humor. That's actually kind of okay. That's actually pretty cool that kids have that out there. Kids have like that introduction to different styles of humor, and this is their introduction to dumb humor. I was like, oh, I get this now. And I won't lie, after that, I actually started enjoying this movie a lot more. I still wouldn't say I came out of it like really liking it or anything, but I appreciated it way more after that point. Like after that point, all the jokes that I just really didn't like, I was like, yeah, but I can understand like this is the style of dumb humor that a kid would like and still recognize that it's dumb humor. Don't get me wrong, there's still some cringeworthy jokes in here. There's a lot
Yeah, it's
of
like
fart jokes, butt jokes,
Yeah,
poop
of
jokes.
course.
There is a long-running joke about the Titans pooping. Like, yeah, it goes on forever, in which they're on a movie studio set, and Beast Boy comes out of this fake bathroom and is like, what are you just doing there? Oh, I just pooped in that toilet, man! And like, just applauding himself for pooping in the toilet. Like, Beast Boy, that's a fake toilet! That's a prop toilet! You can't poop in the toilet! Cyborg comes out, guess who just pooped in the toilet? And then like, speakers come out, brr, 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 and then everybody else just comes out like, a line of people just, I just pooped in the toilet, she just pooped in the toilet. And I was sitting there going, oh my God, I don't enjoy this at all. I hate this.
sounds like someone has a scat fetish.
No. Why do you gotta make everything weird?
Why does this movie have to make everything weird with poop jokes?
No, you made this weird.
Alright, fine.
You made this weird. You're gonna be on the podcast, you made it weird. Yeah, no, it's just like kids like farts, kids like poop. That's all that it was. And it was just hammer that shit in. Just bam, just get it in their faces over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah, man, I was thinking like, this is driving me nuts. But there's a lot of adult comedy films out there that do poop jokes. Mm-hmm. This is just that for kids. And it's like, all right, I get it. But then at the same time, I kind of like shake a finger at the poop jokes in adult films because I never find them funny either. So, yeah, it's one of those stories like, am I really like appreciating this correctly? I don't know. But the kids are liking it, so all right. Like, I feel like that's where a lot of the high ratings for this is coming from. I feel it's critics who saw this in audiences full of kids, and they're like, I didn't get any of this, but the kids liked it, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like that kind of humor is just odd for the Teen Titans. Like, there's a...
That's the other thing. It's like,
Yeah, no,
how did you get from that old series to this? That's just the part that's so bizarre to me.
Like, there is a Unikitty cartoon with, like, the same wacky sense of humor, and it's like, that makes sense for Unikitty. Like, that's, like...
It's kind of like, I hate jumping on this freaking bandwagon, but it's kind of like the Thundergats. It's about those cats that carry around machine guns. I'd watch that. It's kind of like Thundercats Roar.
Yeah.
I look at that and I'm like, I have no problem with the art style of this. I know some people are like, oh, is that Cal art style? It's like, Cal art is multiple different styles, you idiots. It's like, yeah, so many people point at that and just wag fingers like, I have no problem with you making a cartoon that looks like this. I have no problem with you making a cartoon with this style of humor, this style of action, doing all this kind of stuff. Why Thundercats?
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm not coming in here like trying to jump on the bandwagon like, oh, this looks like the worst thing. I was like, no, it's just weird that.
Yeah, it's like.
It's who said, you know what's a good fit for this style of animation? Thundercats.
It's like, I just feel like people are like constantly doing reboots and they're just like too afraid of doing anything new.
That's what I feel is a big part of it. Like,
yeah, it's like I'm honestly getting kind of tired of all these reboots. I mean, I mean, and I hate saying that because there are some reboots out there that are really good, like the DuckTales one and the
DuckTales is great. The She-Ra one looks good.
Yeah, it's like yeah,
Voltron was great.
Yeah, these are great, but I kind of want something new.
But also, yeah, that's the thing. for someone who is as big a geek as I am, geek culture is ruled a lot by nostalgia.
Yeah, that's
and for somebody who's as big of a geek as I am, man, I have started I'm in a nostalgia boat that's sinking, and I have been gladly just dumping a lot of stuff overboard. Recently, like, we don't need this, we don't need that. This thing that I loved can go over there. Toss that thing overboard. I need some new stuff to stay afloat. But at the same time, the stuff that we just listed off, like DuckTales, that has the spirit of the old DuckTales, but feels modernized because they're doing stuff like continuous plots in there, which is what modern day cartoons do. Voltron, it looks like, you're taking a lot of the stuff that made the original Voltron work and you're amping it up to 11. That She-Ra cartoon, granted it hasn't come out yet, but I'm looking at that like, that looks like fantasy stuff for young girls. That's what She-Ra was supposed to be in the first place.
It was like you're maybe the same person who did the Lumberjanes comic.
Oh, I freaking love Noelle Stevenson. She's great. Nimona, that comic is amazing. But yeah, like I look at this and like this looks like updated stuff that keeps the spirit of the original around. I'm totally on board with this. But yeah, you look at like Thundercats Roar, it's like that's not what that's just a completely different thing. Like that looks when the guy who was the creator of this, like again, he could totally be the biggest Thundercats fan in the world. This could be his entire idea. But like they were doing this interview with him and I was looking at it, I was like, it feels like you had your own pitch for something and Cartoon Network said turn it into Thundercats.
Yes, like...
And yeah, when it comes to Teen Titans Go, granted, I do know where this one came from. Because when DC had that, like, DC Animated Power Hour or whatever it was called, they would have all those little short, bits, like... I can't remember what they were called. But they did some stuff in there that was like just really cool references to old storylines. Like they did Sword of the Atom. They did that as an entire little mini-series. I'm like, oh, it's a really cool little reference to the old stuff and there's a way to show off another character. Then they do really artistic stuff. Like they would have Wonder Woman from the 1970s. Like this funky exploitation style Wonder Woman's like, that's really darn cool. The Lauren Faust thing that we just talked about, that started off as that. That looked like a great thing then. And the Teen Titans thing, it started off as just little tiny short skits that meant to play into the humorous moments from the Teen Titans cartoon. And it was like, basically just that. And someone took that and amped up to 11. So I was like, I understand how we got to this, but man, it feels, again, it's like, it's the spin-off of a spin-off is how we got to it. And it really feels like the original flavor ain't in this anymore.
Yeah, it's like, once again, it's like someone took like a nice lunch and gave it a cookie, and then they said, oh, kids love the cookie, so let's just get rid of the entire lunch and just dump a whole bunch of cookies into the box.
That's a way better metaphor than what I was going to say. I was going to say it feels like Seattle coffee. Because it feels like, oh, Seattle coffee is really unique. Let's make it famous. Now let's have an offshoot of that original Seattle coffee brand. Now let's have an offshoot of the original Seattle coffee brand. Then you go to Seattle now and you just go into a coffee shop and drink. It's like, oh my God, this is what they're famous for? Oh God. It's like, yeah, but it's not the original thing that it was. It's not. It's like, I'm sure the Papa John's Pizza, probably the very first restaurant they opened up, tasted really good. It doesn't anymore. And they're also kind of racist now. So this cartoon is not racist. It's just, I was like, I'd pick Papa John's because they're the shittiest pizza place out there. And I'm like, oh wait, they've been in the news recently for another reason.
Who knows? Maybe they've always been racist. Like,
no, the original did you hear this news story?
No.
The original Papa John is suing the new Papa John. The actual
I did hear about
original
that.
recipe. The very first, it'd be like if the first Colonel Sanders like started suing all those actors portraying Colonel Sanders in the commercial, which would be weird because he's dead.
Like the ghost just haunts them.
By the way, we're talking about Teen Titans Go. Man, I didn't think I would have enough to talk about in this, and we got off on a good little tangent there. I thought I just had to pick up Peach and like have her just distract you guys for like half an hour because, it's one of those things where this is a movie that it's just not aimed at me. So it's not like I can really come in here and critique a lot of stuff.
Is there a plot to this movie?
Yes, okay. The plot to the movie, and oh my God, this plot is so well timed. The plot to this movie is that every superhero out there is getting a movie. Mm-hmm. But the Teen Titans aren't getting one because, as Superman puts it, you're goofsters. Which Superman is played by Nicolas Cage in here. Which good for them because Nicolas Cage is a massive Superman fan. There's a moment in the credits in which it says, young Bruce Wayne played by Kal-El Cage. I was like, who the hell named their kid Kal-El? Wait, Cage. Oh, right, Nicolas Cage named his kid Kal-El. I forgot about that. Yeah, Nicolas Cage is obsessed with Superman. He's obsessed with comics in general. Like, Cage is not his original last name. He gave himself the name Cage after Luke Cage. So, yeah, man, it's cool that he's playing Superman. But yeah, they're like, yeah, you guys are goofsters. No one wants to really have anything to do with you. And they try and go to Batman's movie premiere, and they won't be let in. They're like, yeah, nobody knows the Teen Titans. They're not important at all. And one thing that I will say is that if you are a DC fan, like a hardcore DC fan, you will be in for a treat because this is just wall-to-wall Easter eggs. Just everywhere Easter eggs. They have a running gag about the challengers of the unknown. Damn, that's a deep cut. That they even talk about how nobody knows who the challengers of the unknown are. Unknown is in their name. Like, that is a running gag constantly throughout this. But I know who the challengers of the unknown are, and honestly, it's a pretty damn good challengers of the unknown joke. But it's one of those things where if this came out 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh my god, can you believe we had like a running challenge of the unknown joke in here? Can you believe that this hero was in here and this hero was in there? And did you see that one in the background? Oh my god, Swamp Thing's just walking around in here all the time. They do tons of gags with him. The Atom has tons of gags. I can't believe all this stuff. But we've had massive superhero merged universes for 10 years now. I've got a Luke Cage and an Iron Fist and a Jessica Jones show out there. We've got a Flash TV show, a Green Arrow TV show. We've got Batwoman's getting a TV show, Supergirl's doing all this stuff, Legion of Tomorrow or Legends of Tomorrow has like their own thing going on, and we've got all this other stuff. I'm kind of at that point now where it's like, oh, that's, you know, this thing that at one point in time would have blown my mind, I'm just like, oh, that's neat. Like, it's not a huge thing for me anymore, but I understand why some people it would be a huge thing for them. So I'm just saying, if you are the type of person who would lose your mind knowing there is a Challengers of the Unknown running gag, you're in for a treat. This movie is tons of references to the comics. Over and over and over and over again. A whole lot of very small wink and nod references to the comics. And yeah, I think that a lot of people out there are going to get a lot of entertainment from that. I, on the other hand, I've reached that point where I'm just like, oh, neat, they did that thing. Cool. And don't get me wrong, it's good. There are good jokes in there about that. The Challengers of the Unknown gag is really good. And they make a lot of really good jokes about superhero movies. There's tons of great jokes about the current state of superhero movies. There is a Batman versus Superman gag in here that I loved. There's a Batman vs. Superman in which they're shooting Batman vs. Superman 2, and it's got the two of them just like grappling with each other. And then Batman goes, "What's your mother's name?" "Martha." "Mine is too." "Wait, what's your father's name?" "Jonathan." "Mine's Thomas." Bam! I'm like, that's a pretty good joke. And that kid behind me who at one point was laughing and said, "That's so dumb," he, right after that joke, he laughed at it and went, "Nah, but for real, that movie was bad." I'm like, the future's in good hands. The future is in good hands. All right, I'm trusting this kid's opinion now. Like, if that kid had laughed later on and said, "That's so dumb," I might have been like, okay, does this kid really understand what dumb humor is? The fact that he called Batman vs. Superman stupid before that, I was like, this kid knows what he's talking about. I'm trusting this kid. By the way, you want a bizarre movie-going experience? Go to Teen Titans Go as a grown-ass man all by yourself. Because I could tell parents were looking at me. Just like, why is he, what's going on with that guy over there? I was like, I need a shirt that just says, "I'm here because I'm a film critic." Because, yeah, this is probably one of the weirdest movie-going experiences I've ever had. Because I've gone and seen all-ages children's films before. This is not an all-ages children's film. This is a children's film. And the parents were looking at me like, what is he doing over there? So, yeah, but yeah, so there's some really good jokes about like superhero movies in there. There is a cameo in here that is brilliant. I will flat out say that there is a cameo that is really damn good in here. I will save it for the spoiler segment after I give this movie my score because it is worth talking about. And there is also, a lot of you have probably already heard of this, but there is a mid-credit stinger on this that's also worth talking about. Have you heard about this yet?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, you're in for a shock. But yeah, there's really good references that only adults will get. Like, there's one gag in here I got like 3 really solid laughs at this. I got a couple of other like, that's okay, I get that right there. But I got 3 like laugh out loud moments in here. And one of them is Superman is guarding a catering table, craft services, that's what it's called. He's guarding the craft services table, and the Teen Titans have to get in there. And Cyborg calls him up on his phone and goes, Superman, it's me, Lois. I'm in trouble. You have to save me from Gene Hackman's real estate scam. I'm coming, Lois. I laughed hysterically at that, and so did all the kids. But I was like, do kids get that reference? And that's another thing that's just so bizarre to me about the Teen Titans Go cartoon and also the movie. It's good in a kid's cartoon to put jokes in there that only the adults will get. But like a third of the jokes feel like they're ones that only the adults will get. And like, that feels like way too many for a kid's cartoon. It feels like that's way, like, it feels like there's a ton of gags in here that are just going straight over the kids' heads, but they're still laughing at. But I'm wondering if they're laughing at because they understand the joke, or if it's like when I was like 8 years old and I was laughing at George Carlin. I had no idea what he was talking about in his routine, but I understood like silly faces and like his delivery lines. Like I could understand a punchline and how you build up successfully to a punchline, even if I didn't get the punchline at the time. So I was wondering if like it was that kind of laughter. So yeah, it was just, man, it was so weird because again, there's really darn good jokes in here, but I don't know if the kids, like some of them, okay, there's really darn good jokes in here for the kids, but there's also really darn good jokes in here for the adults. But I don't know, like there's so many adult jokes in here that I'm wondering if it might have been too many. But it's one of the things that made me able to get through this movie. Because like I said, when this thing started off with a breakdancing Teen Titans Go introduction, I was like, I don't want to be here. Oh God, this is going to be rough to sit through. But it was the jokes like that that made it possible for me to get through it. That and Will Arnett as Slade. Because one of the reasons why the Teen Titans can't get a movie is they're like, yeah, you don't have an arch nemesis. You just party all the time. You don't actually save anyone. You don't have an arch nemesis. And yeah, Slade, aka Deathstroke from the old Teen Titans cartoon, that was their big villain. So he's in this, and it's actually the first time he's actually been in the Teen Titans Go like universe. And he's played by Will Arnett, who at the end of this I found out produced this film. Apparently, like he was championing the idea of this getting a movie. So that was a shock. But yeah, Will Arnett plays Slade. And between this and Dog Show, or whatever the hell that movie was called, Will Arnett has proven to me this year he shows up to work. It doesn't matter what the product is. It doesn't matter what the project is. He shows up and is going to give it 100%. Because, yeah, he's so damn good in this. He is great as Slade in here. He gets into every single line. Like, at no point does it feel like he just showed up for a paycheck. Which, in all fairness, nobody in here feels like they did. Nicolas Cage feels like he showed up to play Superman. The guy who played Green Lantern, he's only got like 2 lines, but he delivers them really damn well. Everybody in here feels like they showed up actually to give it their all. And I gotta absolutely applaud this movie for that. Yeah, I love that nobody in this film felt like they were in this just because, my kids like the things of whatever. It's like, no, either they genuinely wanted to be a part of this, or if they were doing this for their kids, or even just for a paycheck, they're like, yeah, man, but I'm gonna give it my all on this thing. Like Kirsten Bell plays the movie director who is making all the superhero films. Yeah, she's really good in this too. But basically the film, it's all about the Teen Titans. They're trying to get this movie. They finally get their arch nemesis, but then they have to kind of like split the Titans up. So it starts becoming this thing of, oh, are the rest of the Teen Titans too goofy? Robin could get his own movie if he just split apart from the Teen Titans, and it becomes that old plot. But, you know, this is made for kids, and kids probably haven't seen that plot a dozen times before. So, all right, fine. You know, every kids film has to introduce kids to some plot that we, the adults, have seen 1,000 times before. So, okay, there are a couple spoilery things that I do want to discuss. A couple, like, little reveals and little, like, surprise jokes in there, and also the mid-credit stinger. But just to sum up before that and give it my score, I will say if you are someone who is not into the Teen Titans Go cartoon, Like I am. Like I've tried watching it, I cannot get into it. I don't enjoy that at all. But there was enough in here that I was able to enjoy. Again, it's a lot of the humor from the Teen Titans Go cartoon that I'm not into. Like, there's a ton of fart jokes, and I just didn't enjoy. A lot of poop jokes, stuff like that. But also just a lot of colors and shapes just being thrown in your face really freaking quick. And yeah, maybe that's just way too below my age range. Or it's just, I was never really into that, but who knows. I'm just not into it. But there are enough really clever jokes in here that I was able to enjoy it. And there's a lot of musical numbers in here, and I gotta admit, all the musical numbers are actually really good. One thing that this movie made me remember is that Michael Bolton can sing. Michael Bolton is in here. They have a song in here called An Upbeat Inspirational Song About Life. That's the name of the song. And Michael Bolton is in there as a white tiger playing a saxophone. I had no idea that was him until the end credits came up, and I was like, all right, I forgot. Michael Bolton is insanely talented. Like, for everybody from my generation, Michael Bolton for many years was kind of just a running gag. People just kept making fun, like, oh, Michael Bolton, yeah, like, that guy, he just sings those upbeat, inspirational songs about life. Yeah, because he does it well. I'm not going to hate, like, I've outgrown hating somebody for being good at what they do. He's good at what he does. And this movie made me remember that. Yeah, man, I came out of this kind of like toe tapping a little bit, like the inspirational song about life. And there's a lot of songs in here like that really did kind of like get me kind of humming along to them. So for the jokes that did work in here, for me, again, I know that for kids, almost all the jokes are gonna work. But for me, I will give this a 5 out of 10. Because there was enough that I don't feel bad about watching this. I don't feel like I said, when this movie began, I just looked at it and went, oh God, I don't know if I can get through this. This is gonna be rough. But by the end, I was able to get through it. It was fine, and there was enough in here that I actually did enjoy. But if you are a Teen Titans Go fan, and especially if you are a little kid or you have little kids, yeah, man, it's like an 8. Probably. Again, it's hard for me to judge what somebody who isn't me would give this film that is aimed at them. But yeah, I absolutely think that for the audience that this is being aimed at, it works incredibly well. Mm-hmm. Like, I think this is absolutely what that audience wanted to see out of this film. So, okay. Now time to get into a couple of spoilery things. All right. Like I said, there is a great cameo in here. Do you want to take a guess at who that cameo is?
I don't know.
Alright, cameo in a DC film. Who could it possibly be?
I'm guessing it might have been an actor who played Batman. I don't know which one.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. But no. It's Stan Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know! There's a moment when they get to the movie studio set and they are walking through looking at everything, and there's a guy sweeping in the back, and I went, was that Stan Lee? And like, they walk past him real quickly, and I was like, oh shoot, if that was Stan Lee, that was a smart cameo. And then he starts like poking his head around, like, hey. And then like, Robin walks in front of him again, and then he pops his head out the other side. And then he eventually shoves them out of the way and goes, hey there, true believers, it's me, Stan Lee. I just love doing cameos in these superhero movies. And then someone comes up, what? It's a DC film. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, you know, Stanley does it, all the cameos in the Marvel movies, but who does DC have that they can do a cameo for?
No one. They have Stan Lee. Again, like I said, there are some damn good jokes in this thing. That one was brilliant. And it's actually Stan Lee, and his voice is real, like, distorted when he's talking, and you can tell because Stan Lee's so old, he literally phoned it in. Like, you can tell he's talking over a phone, but hey man, that's still insanely impressive to me that you did that. That's incredible. There are actually lots of references to Marvel in here. Like, you might have seen this in the trailer when Slade pops up, and then you go, Deadpool? What? No, I'm not Deadpool. And like I said, there's good references for people who know the comics. Mm-hmm. Which is like, in fact, if anything, he should be saying he's not me, because I came out like way before that guy. It's like, yes, Deadpool was literally a ripoff of Deathstroke. Like, that's not like a weird conspiracy theory. It's public knowledge. Mm-hmm. Rob Liefeld just wanted to do a Deathstroke ripoff, so he did that. And yeah, so that was a great little like reference that only the comic book fans out there will get. But yeah, they keep going with that gag on this moment where Cyborg goes, "No, I'm pretty sure you're Deadpool. Look at the camera right there and say something inappropriate." And it's so weird because I'm like, this is an audience full of like 6-year-olds. What parent let their kid watch Deadpool? Yeah, it was so weird to me. But again, as somebody who knows all this stuff, I thought that was a really good joke. There's also another moment in which a villain at the beginning of the film is going, "All right, Justice League, you got me. We're not the Justice League. Oh, I know who you are. Guardians of the Galaxy." And then Raven goes, "That's a completely different universe." I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice that like that's kind of neat that you're like winking and nodding at like, yeah, we know everybody just thinks of the Marvel movies. Like, okay, that's nice. That's kind of cool in there. But here's the big thing not the mid-credit thing. But yeah, this feels like it shouldn't even be a spoiler for this thing. It feels like I should have talked about it the regular part, but for anybody out there who would have gone, "Oh, spoiler alert, I did save it for this." At the end of this movie, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you're all a bunch of jokesters." And they break up because of that. But then they get back together, and at the end, Deathstroke has a giant robot that he is attacking the city with. He's brainwashed all the other superheroes into being supervillains and working for him. So the Titans are the only ones left. And at the end of this movie, he's saying, "You're all just a joke. What are you gonna do? Defeat me with waffles? A breakdancing competition? What are you gonna do?" And then Robin goes, "You know what? You're right. We are jokes. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that." And I went, oh my god, the message of this film is the Teen Titans saying, "You know what? The Teen Titans aren't serious. And that's okay to not be serious." This is the most hilariously well-timed message I have ever seen. Ever. This could not have been a better timed joke if it had come out last week during Comic-Con. Like, they might as well have just have gone, "All right, let's just insert one quick frame. Just one quick frame from that trailer. Like, 1/30th of a second frame in there." It's like, wow. And for anybody who's going to say, "But the Teen Titans have been very serious in the comics," yes, I fully understand. In the comics, they have had many serious storylines. Raven has had some very dark stuff going on with her. The Titans in the comics have been very serious. It's just hilarious to me that after the Titans trailer came out last weekend, the Teen Titans cartoon, the Teen Titans movie, actually stops, and the message they learn at the end of this is, yeah, we should stop trying to be serious, the Teen Titans. The Teen Titans just need to stop trying to be like the other heroes and be serious. And I was like, you gotta be, because it's not like they planned that. It's not like the people at Warner Brothers was like, "We need to put that out there at this specific time because the Titans trailer went up the week before that." No one at Warner Brothers thought of this at all. It's just the most hilarious fell ass backwards into a really appropriate message for the time kind of movie message. So I love that. But alright, now for the mid-credits stinger. Halfway through the credits start going staggy, and you start hearing the other Titans talking and saying, is it on? Can they hear us? I think I'm about to get through. And then it all goes clear, and it's the original Titans.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it's the original Titans, and they go, "For anybody who can hear us, this is Robin of the Teen Titans. We think we found a way back." And that was it. And that was weird because a lot of the kids were like, "Oh, it's the original things." And I saw a lot of adults in there going, "Yeah, it is." Like, you could tell the adults were actually pretty excited about this idea. Which that just shows how long it's been since the original. But yeah, I think Tara Strong said on Twitter, who plays Raven, I think she said on Twitter, if it makes $250 million at the box office, then the Teen Titans, the original, will get a brand new series. I don't think it's gonna do that. Because, again, I was in that theater on opening day. It wasn't that big of an idea. It was, for a kid's movie, it was a decent size.
But...
Plus, also, I've been to movie screenings where my screening was kind of empty and then it did gangbusters. But, I don't think it's gonna hit that 250. But I also don't think that she was being literal about that. I think she was just picking a number at random because I think that's how much Infinity War did on its opening weekend. So I think that's why she picked that number. But yeah, I do think it's one of those things in which this was Cartoon Network saying, yeah, listen, we're just going to give you the old Titans back. Like, I don't think there's any strings attached to this. I don't think there's any, like, if the movie does well, then you'll get that back. I don't think they would have put that in there unless there was something planned. Because even if the movie doesn't do well, I think after this, and I think after people see this and go nuts for it, I think that we'll at least get, like, a direct-to-DVD kind of movie thing, which that's okay with me. That's fine. I mean, in all honesty, I don't really need the Teen Titans cartoon to come back. I'm fine. Like I mentioned earlier, I've dumped a lot of my nostalgia stuff overboard. And that cartoon ended pretty damn well. That cartoon ended, I mean, the Go to Tokyo movie was a little bit like, that's just a random thing.
Yeah.
But the actual series itself, it ending with getting all the other Teen Titans from the comic in there, them going across the world, finding all these other teen heroes, it ending with the Teen Titans now being this huge thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually kind of a cool way to end this. I'm totally on board with that. I don't need any more, but I understand there's a lot of people out there who want to come back, so, you know what, fine. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, now if the Teen Titans ended on a cliffhanger, that would have been a different story.
Bull crap then, yeah. Absolutely. But, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't feel it ended on a cliffhanger. I feel it ended on a pretty good note. And if you can end something after 5 seasons on a pretty good note, I'm down. I'm okay with that. I don't really need all that much more. Yeah, like, to me, if you end 3 seasons or less, even if you end on a good note, it's like, you ended kind of prematurely there. 5 seasons is pretty good. Mm-hmm. You ended on a good storyline, ended on a good moment. I don't really need a whole lot else of that. Yeah. Although, actually, now that I think about it, the actual final episode of it was something that came on, like, in the afternoon block on Cartoon Network, like, months after that final episode came out, and it was just Beast Boy thinking that Tara was still alive.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. And it's like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. Which
I guess that's technically a cliffhanger ending.
I guess.
But to me, it's one of those cliffhangers that doesn't need to be answered. Like, to me, leaving it a question is better than answering it. It's one of those kind of things. I'm okay with those endings sometimes, where it's like, what does the audience think happened next? Like, I'm okay with that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, as long as, like, the main plot has been solved, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This, it wasn't like they were all sitting in a diner and there was a hitman outside coming inside and then all of a sudden just cut to black. There's a reference that not a lot of Teen Titans fans will know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of an interesting thing to end this movie on. Like, it's so weird that this movie just ended on, here's a commercial for a TV show coming up. In fact, it even says at the end, to be continued on Cartoon Network. Like, it literally says, like, yeah, we're going to still have more episodes coming up, and we'll continue to follow.
Well, hey, the last Purge movie, and it had, like,
oh, you're right,
it did the exact same thing.
It did the exact same thing.
Is that going to be, like, the new trend with movies? Like, oh, hey, now there's going to be a TV series based on this movie?
I don't think they realize that television is dying. Like, if they came in here and they... Remember a couple of years ago in which everybody was like, oh, movies are dying. TV is where it's at now because TV understands how to do sequential storylines where you build on from moment to moment to moment and you can tell much bigger and richer storylines. And then, like, just a couple years later, all those streaming services came out and were like, yeah, nobody really cares about television anymore. Television's dead. It's over with. It's done. Throw in that towel. So if it had said to be continued on CartoonNetwork.com, I'd be like, all right, that's understandable. If The Purge said coming soon to Netflix, it's like, okay, that's understandable. Coming soon to USA, who cares? Yeah, spoiler for The Purge movie. But yeah, okay, so that was my thoughts on Teen Titans Go. We are going to do a Mission Impossible post-Geekout reaction later this weekend. However, tonight and tomorrow is the Overwatch Finals, and we have tickets to that here in Brooklyn. So we will not be seeing Mission Impossible until Sunday, but we're also going to do a post-Geekout retrospective in which we talk about the previous Mission Impossible films. We've been binge watching all of those, so we will come in here and give you our thoughts on the Mission Impossible franchise as well as on the brand new movie. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for that. Come back next time. Bye.
Bye.